Today we're helping Aviana and she has a question. What is Aviana's spiritual gifts? What are Aviana's spiritual and psychic gifts? This is really strange, but I've never heard this phrase before. Um, I've never heard this phrase before, like in the spiritual community, but I just got the words shadow walker. I've never heard of that before. Let me see if I can get some more information. Aviana's spiritual gifts. What are her spiritual and psychic gifts? When I feel into that energy, the shadow walking energy, I'm getting kind of like it feels like when I have tuned into Lilith, kind of like the dark feminine energy. It's really powerful, but still, it still feels feminine. It doesn't feel masculine to me. Aviana's gifts and Aviana's gifts and abilities. So I think that you help people. So let me know if you can still hear me. I think that you help people kind of bridge the gap between their own light and dark. And that's kind of what it means by shadow, because shadow is like the contrast made by light. Um, okay. There any other spiritual and psychic gifts that we can make Aviana aware of? It's so interesting because you feel super light and you almost don't feel like you're even materialized. Like, every time I tune into the question and I sit and I feel, it's like whatever work that you do or you're meant to do or that you are doing, like, it's almost happening in another dimension, like, it's happening, um the vibe that it gives me is I have a friend who's a rescue medium, and so she does her spiritual work, um, like, she does not even have a lot clients that are alive. Like, all of her the people that she help are people who have passed on, and so all of the work that she does, like, it doesn't keep it's someone who's, like, not into spirituality at all, who doesn't believe in energy, like, they'd be like, "What are you even doing?" Because there's no tangible proof of what she's doing. They'd be like, "As far as I'm concerned, you're, like, daydreaming all day because I don't see any tangible results." I don't think that you do rescue work, but whatever work you do, it's similar to that, to where the work that you do is all energetic, um, very skilled. I mean, your energy is so light and so quick. It's like you're a, what's the word? Like a special, um, tactics, special tactics. What does that mean? Could that be the dream field that I'm projecting? Okay. It feels kind of, I don't know if you've ever heard of remote viewing. It feels like you're remote viewing, but you're peering into not just like what's happening here and now in the 3D, but you're like peeking into uh other dimensions, which is really interesting.
It's so interesting you said that because, like, I'm gonna share with you something real quick. So I started realizing, this might be what it is because the whole remote viewing thing, but like in my dreams, which is weird. So I had a dream back in October. Um, and I don't know if I probably had more, but like this one in particular was the one that stood out because I've never like had a dream like that before. So, during that time, there was just like a lot going on in the world, like with the war and all of that, in the
Yes.
Middle East. And I had a dream that
Yes. Go ahead.
and this just like debris and rubble everywhere on the floor.
Oh.
Here. Like actually there. And I was like, whoa, this is. But yeah, sorry, you can continue. I didn't mean to get you out of your zone.
No, I'm so glad you said that because sometimes I'm just talking, I'm like, I don't know if any of this is resonating. So that does help. That is so crazy. But yeah, it's like the energy is kind of like you just pop in and you pop out and it's really light and you um are doing all of this energetically. That's why I'm like, so the work that you do, I feel like it's going to be more of this stuff. Like sometimes when because I've gotten this question before and sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I see you like working with your energy directly on somebody like Reiki, or maybe you're doing like tarot or something, where you're like, you physically have a client in front of you and you are doing energy work, but that's not how it feels for you. It feels like the work that you do involves like it all takes place on the other side. Like there's not like one foot here and one foot on the other realm, like one foot here with your client tangibly. It's like everything you do is on the other side. And that doesn't mean that you're not gonna have clients, but they're just not gonna have to be. I almost feel like you're gonna do things. Let me see. Oh, that's perfect. Because the second part of this question is, how can you start using them? So that might help us. Let me ask that. So how can Aviana start using these gifts that she has? This like, what did they call it? Shadow walking. How and um almost like remote viewing. How can she start doing these things consciously and on purpose? Okay, so weird. But the first thing is timing is super important with this gift. It's almost like the conditions around you have to be just right. So around moons, around full and new moons, when the
Mm-hmm.
energy's heightened, um, And then what other timings would be auspicious? I'm asking the records here. Okay. The second time is if it's not around the moons, it's when you have to have a really high level of of energetic buildup. It's
Mhm.
like whenever you do this remote viewing or these intense dreams that you have, it takes up a lot of your energy and then it takes you like a couple of days to recuperate. And it's
Mhm.
almost like you're foggy after that. Um, or you're still kind of pondering what you saw and you're kind of like playing with what did I see? What did that mean? Was it true? Was I there?
Yeah.
And so in order to do this kind of thing consciously, so you set the intention before bed, it's super important on timing and it's you have to be at your highest peak. So it'd be perfect to do like you almost have to build up to it. So you have to have like um yeah, I was gonna see if they could give me a set time, but there's no set time. It's just like a few days in a row where you're like really well hydrated and you're meditating and you're like doing sound healings or if you do Reiki, doing self Reiki. But like a few days in a row where you're kind of like building up and working towards and you're like deliberately like, okay, I'm replenishing my energy because on Friday I want to and this is just I'm gonna use their term, shadow walk. So on Friday, I want to shadow walk. It sounds scary, but it doesn't seem scary at all. And so you intentionally kind of do the things that build you up. Maybe go out in nature, maybe journal, the gentle things that you do that you take care of yourself, take a bath or whatever. And you do it every single day until the day that you're ready, which I would even try to plan them around the new moons or full moons. And then you set the intention. I also think that you could do this. I would start doing it when you're dreaming, but you're gonna get so familiar with the feeling. You're gonna know without it like a shadow of a doubt that you're doing this dimension walking. You're gonna know it so good and you're gonna know exactly the process that you'll be able to do it in just a nice, relaxed, deep meditation. You won't have to be asleep anymore. And then you'll be able to ask where you wanna go. Can she ask where she wants to go even now? Okay. I think that they don't want you to do that right now, to ask specifically where you wanna go. Um, Instead of saying, like, um, I wanna go to Lyra. I wanna go what is Lyra like? Show me. Instead of saying that, it's best for you to say, like, "Show take me to, um, the place where, my soul most needs at this moment, or my soul can heal the most at this moment in time." So you can make a special request, but leave it open to what's in your highest and best. And then, take let me ask if there's a specific guide that goes with you.
Okay.
Ooh, is there a specific guide that would like to step forward? There's actually 3. Um, one of them is actually gonna, like, train you. Like, like, I get the feeling that they're gonna, um, almost, like, explain what's going on. and that one is a galactic guide. Um, who are you? It's a male. Where are you from? Okay, I think that they're from Orion for some reason. Um, is there a name that Ava can? How can she? How will she know that it's you? I think you've seen them before. How can she recognize that it's you? Okay, I, I'm. I don't do a whole lot of galactic work, and I don't know that many groups, but I started kind of like naming off the ones that I did know. And when I got to Orion, that's when I felt kind of a little jolt in my body. And then they will be wearing white. That's your guide. The second one is a protector. The protector gives me, I think it could be Metatron because at first I was thinking Michael, but it felt like Michael 2.0. um, to explain that, it just feels like I almost thought maybe it's a god because the energy was so strong, but I don't think it's a god. I think it might just be Metatron, and he's presenting his side, the side of him that feels like Michael, because in this case he's acting as a protector. He doesn't want to guide you. He wants the galactic guide to guide you because why do you want the galactic guide to guide her? That's supposed to be you. You have a history with this guide. Okay, that's cool. And then who's the third person, the third entity? This is so weird, but the third entity, I get the feeling of something that's small. Like it's not a, is it an animal or an elemental? The third one gives me like pixie magic, almost like from Peter Pan, the little pixie. So it could be a fairy. The first thing it like told me was that it was little. Um, And why are you joining? Oh, okay. They shift the energy. They're playful. I definitely think it's a fairy. Um, okay. I give you good luck in your travels, and then they just add a touch of magic so that you okay. They kind of make it so that everything that happens, like everything that you see and experience, it'll be profound, of course, but it's also gonna be like you went to Narnia or you just went to like some fairy tale. They're gonna make it enjoyable for you. That's why the fairy wants to come along because otherwise it could get a little bit too serious, or you could go like you're like where you were in like in a war zone, which is okay, and that's, you know, sometimes really important that someone goes to those kinds of places, but there's like, a lightness that they want to keep in the background for you, and then whenever you have an experience, it'll be that, like, feeling of being a kid and, like, believing in magic again, like, something like a little element, a little twist, a little element of surprise. That's so strange. I've never been told anything like this, so that's really cool. Um,
Um,
is there anything else that we can tell Aviana that would help her unlock these gifts, start using these gifts, or anything that she should know for her best and highest? Um, they want you to make a ritual, almost like kind of like how when I started to do the Akashic Records, I opened up with a key, which is like a script. They want you to have a ritual of like, maybe before you go to bed, you burn sage and then burn a candle, and then maybe you um, invoke your guides, and then you'll call on your three guides. They want you to have something that you do almost the same way and you do it every time because it's like the preparation is super important. The preparation is everything for what you do because leading up to it, remember you have to take care of yourself, and then the day of, the night of, when you plan to set this intention, um, make sure that you have a nice strong ritual that you do almost the same way every time, and that it's thorough for protection and it's like sets you up for good relaxation, that you are set up so that you're not bothered either way in the physical or in the 3D. So like you have an eye mask on or um you know, you have your pets out of the way so that they don't come wake you up in the middle of the night. And then in the 3D, you're not bothered because you set up your protection. Maybe you do a crystal grid, or maybe however you typically set up your protections, make sure that you set them up and then call in the three guides. Um, I also get a feeling that these guides are changing. Like these are the ones that are starting with you now, but when I was feeling into the energy of magic, I don't know if you ever work with Merlin or if you ever have, but for some reason, like, I think he's another guy that eventually you'll be working with, Merlin the Wizard. Um, I don't know how this ties into like magic I don't know if you like to do spell work or something like that, but I think that these three guides will change. these are just the ones that wanna start you off. Um, and if I were to guess, I think that your first couple experiences are gonna be sweet and fun and light, and then they may change, like, maybe you'll start going into more heavier energies, you'll start doing heavier work, but if they want you to enjoy this process, and they might take you somewhere that makes your heart sing and makes your heart happy and brings you, like, a euphoria, and that's why they've picked these guys that they've picked to start off, and then later on, they'll let you know when it's time to call in somebody else, or maybe the 4th entity will join you, or maybe instead of the fairy, like, an animal will go with you, something like that.
Oh, thank you. I was told that I have like a blue avian guide as well. Um,
Um,
and that the
yeah.
blue avian always wants to like share information with me. And I feel like I honestly feel like it's like deep stuff. I don't know. Like, can my blue avian come through to you now and like share like, or can the Akashic record share like what that is
Sure.
about? Because I feel like it has to do with my purpose.
Okay, yeah, let's do that, let's see. Have the blue avian guide step forward, please, and connect to my energy. Okay. All right. I'm getting a lot of energy in my solar plexus, which I wouldn't have expected since that one's not blue, but that's where I'm getting. Okay, now my right palm got like a shock. It was strange, but it was really strong and almost a little painful. Um, why why are you sending me these sensations? Okay. I think that could be how you would recognize that they've entered. Um, Pay attention to your right palm and then your tummy. Mm, but like right up, right where the solar is, like a upper tummy, not lower. Um, it's a male. Well, they present as male, or are you? I think they do. What messages do you have, or what insights could you provide, Aviana, in regards to US or guide? It's very strange, but I'm getting the taste of like metal or blood just randomly for no reason. I don't have any reason to. Is that like healing or detoxing? Do you mean? Why didn't you show me that? It's so interesting because all of the messages that this um, galactic being is giving me is like my senses, is like my taste, my touch, they're like communicating with me through my senses. Um, and they're honestly a tiny bit like aversive. Like the little shock on my hand was a little painful. Like this taste that I have in my mouth, it's not. exactly pleasant? What does this mean? It's like they give you it's like they give you the truth, even if it's they'll give you the full truth. They're not gonna sugarcoat it, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. I think it's like the word that you used earlier, it's like a little bit heavy. Not in a bad way, not in a dark way, but it's like a different experience. They're almost raw. They're raw. RAW. So, how do you how do you help Aviana? What do you help her? Okay. They put you in a position to kind of accept the harsh truths and deliver them to people. Reality is super important with them. Like being honest and true. I get this feeling of just like piercing, like piercing truth, like kind of like when somebody looks at you and their gaze is like just piercing and you know they're like reading you. Like you're like, okay, the way this person is looking at me, like they're looking straight into my soul. It's this sharp, raw, piercing truth that you get with this energy. Um, they help you embody that energy. And that's important because with your ability to kind of remote view, I think that you're going to be privy to information. Like you're going to have insider information that is going to feel really heavy on your soul to know. I think that that might be why they want to start off light with you. I think that's why the guides that came in were like emphasizing like playfulness and lightness because it's like a slow transition into this heavy information that you're going to peek into. It's like you're going to peel back all the layers of the veil. Like you might know really sad things about the darkness of reality of maybe you'll know like you might see um You might see kind of some atrocities, or you might hear planning for things. So interesting. Why? How is this going to help? Oh, okay. Okay. So these blue avians, um, this guide helps to increase your psychic abilities. That's how come you're able to, well, I won't say how come, but that they're able to help you navigate these gifts that you have. Um, and then there's something about they're travelers, and you're a traveler too. You're like a spirit traveler. That's also why you're working with the blue avians, why you have a blue avian guide is because of the like the third eye boost, and also this quality of traveling the cosmos. But I have to tell you, they don't feel like super gentle. Again, not in a bad way, but they don't feel super gentle. They feel like they're very like blunt and to the point, and like they're like about the business in the way of like um they lock in on their goals. Do you feel like you have those qualities?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like now more than ever, I've definitely had like those qualities, but obviously like I'm very gentle. I've never heard of spirit traveler. What is that?
Um, why did I get the word spirit traveler?
But it's so interesting because I did a hypnosis session and I honestly didn't think I was under. And it was about a past life. And all I kept saying was that, but I get the sense that like I traveled, that I'm a traveler. So when you said spirit traveler, it just like really like, I'm like, what? There goes that word travel again. What is that? And this was just last week or 2 weeks ago that I mentioned that.
Um, when I asked them why did I say spirit traveler, I think that it was just another word or another way to describe the shadow walking. It's like the same thing. I think that
Oh,
they're just, yeah, they're just looking for another term to explain that remote viewing. Um, like in a sense, you're traveling time and space when you do that.
so I should
Uh,
start practicing and doing things ritualistically. And like, is there a time frame of like when? And I know that nothing is set in stone. Like time is not is, you know, it's tricky with the timelines. But like when will I notice, or when will this start? Like when
okay.
will I be like step into this role actively?
Okay. Is there a time frame for Aviana's um, shadow walking to develop? This is really weird. I don't. like time related questions are usually not very good in the Akashic realm, but I still like to ask and just try and see what comes up. As it's like all up to free will, and you may just um, get busy with life and not really work on it. But I'll just say it. I don't feel comfortable because I don't do a lot of time questions, but I'll just say it. In worst case, it's like for some reason I'm getting around Taurus season, like May. I think is May. Um, and the only reason, like, there's no other reason other than there's nothing special about this season. It doesn't even make sense because like a Taurus is rooted and grounded, and they're like like the most 3D sign that there could be. So you'd be like, wait, oh, I'm gonna do all this psychic work during like the least psychic sign of the zodiac. But it has nothing to do with the Taurus. I just feel like around this time of May, you're gonna have the time to like spoil yourself with self-care. And that is like the biggest key to do this work. Um, like the most relaxed you are, the better that you're eating, the more water you're drinking, like the more like fun you're having in life, like the more lighthearted your energy is, that's when you're able to do all of these travels. Um, and for some reason, I think that over the summertime, you're gonna have that energy. You're gonna have kind of like a lightness about you that's gonna help you do this work. Also, I could be wrong, but I think there may be heightened energy through like eclipses or something. And those are kind of like hit or miss. Like some people say during eclipses, don't do any energy work. But that's like old astrologers. Like now they're like, no, it's a great time to do work. It's like um a heightened portal that like accelerates growth and accelerates timelines and accelerates progress. So I think, and I'm not even 100% sure, but that could also help you because the other thing that helped you was the moon timing. It said that if you did this work with along with the moon or when you've built up your self-care, that's when you're most likely to be successful. And so if it is eclipse season, that could also be why that time frame is popping up. Don't forget to call in your 3 guides and to do your whole ritual and everything so that you can be, in the right state of mind.
Thank you. And when I call in my three guides, how do I do that? Um, and do I do it by name?
You'll what I would do is I would call in Metatron first, and then, um, let me ask him. Yeah, okay. Call Metatron first because the guide that I was shown, the Orion guide and the fairy, I think that these are only act because I get the feeling that these guides will change out. Um, and I think that the fairy and Orion are only here if you do this like within the next couple weeks, like within this moon cycle. If you wait and you do it in a month or 2 months or 3 months, these guys will not be the best ones for you to work with at that time. Like it won't be pertinent for you to work with a fairy. It won't be pertinent for you. Not that it won't be pertinent, but there will be better guides for you during different times. So call in Metatron first and then tell him to bring in the guides that are perfect for you on this night, on this occasion, and for them to reveal themselves to you in your dream.
Okay, thank you.
I think that the angelic guide, Metatron, I believe that he will be constant. So the other ones might change, but he'll be there always.
Thank you.
Do you ever do magic um like like witch magic or rituals spells?
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely done it in the past, and like I just do things intentionally. Um, I have like an altar next to me. I have crystals. I keep like a water glass. I'm
Okay.
really in tune with the moon and my body. I'm really into all of that metaphysical, spiritual, ritual spells. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I I feel like you're gonna do spells. Like you're eventually gonna be to the point where you're not just gonna go and observe. Um, but like you're gonna go observe and then you're gonna I don't know, do magic. The places that you go, like you're not just gonna go just to see what's going on. You're gonna go to change something and it's gonna be it feels like more of the witchy side, like the Lilith dark feminine, like witchy, um like it's
I
all gonna tie in, it's all gonna come in together
I also do quantum healing, so that's probably like what you're feeling.
okay, yeah, that could be because you're jumping into these timelines and it's not just to observe, although that's a part of it. And I get that the blue avians, they're really observant. Like that's their big thing is that um they're like observers, like almost give me they're collecting data or like I don't know, something like that. But you're gonna do more. You might just observe at first, and then later on, you're gonna be comfortable, and you're gonna start manipulating the energy, and you might be doing spells, and you're gonna bring in magic. I think you're gonna be really active. Like these dreams are gonna be uh like action packed, action packed. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And you know
Mhm.
what's so interesting? Like when you were talking earlier about, oh, it's like you're gonna be a foot in both worlds.
Mhm.
So it's so you know how like I do like quantum healing and hypnosis. Like I've been really called like just to learn more about like the brain and just like because I really like I'm really trying to understand and bridge the gap between
Oh,
like spirituality and like the physical realm um and like the
I
brain and all of
love
that. Is
that.
that like what can you like see is that am I on the right path of doing that?
Yes.
Like is
Okay.
that why
Yes.
I'm getting these nudges?
That is so good because when I was talking about how the blue avian gives me observation vibes, like they're collecting data, I didn't say it, but I was thinking they're like scientists. But I didn't say it. I was just thinking it because I was like, that doesn't make sense. I mean, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the blue avians. I don't know if that's something they're known for, but they give me scientist vibes. Like they're watching things unfold and they're seeing if it matches their hypothesis. And so when you're talking about studying the brain, that those energies match so well. It's like you're combining, and we're finding out that science is catching up to spirituality. So there's something about, let me go ahead and ask. Can you please tell me more about Aviana's interests with um, studying the brain and function and the physical way that spirituality unfolds? Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if you have a past with like Arcturians as well, because I'm getting the cerebral energy, like very intelligent and mental coming through. Um, and from what I understand, this work that you're interested in, I feel like you don't need it because like you're fully convinced. Like I feel like you don't need it because you fully believe in everything that you've learned. Like you've experienced it and you're not one of those people who are like, "No, I only believe in science and if science doesn't back it up, then I won't believe it." You already are like fully invested and believe in all of this work. But the reason that you're being called to tap into the more scientific approach of how metaphysics occurs is because by bridging that gap of understanding, you'll be able to bring in the people who are like, I only believe what I can understand. If science can prove it, then I believe it. And so the more that you can speak their language, the more people that you can help kind of expand their consciousness and their awareness because you're like, I get it. I know what you're saying. I know what you mean. And actually, this is what I found. And then you can talk to them in the words that they'll understand. Um, this is important because okay, this is important because as the earth is ascending to 5D consciousness, um, there's there's gonna be, and I would even look it up, there may already be, but there's already gonna be like peer reviewed data and articles that research will back up like quantum physics. Like there's going to be the science that explains the multiple realities and how we can go back and heal the past and how everything exists at the same time. I think it would be so good for you to take a little bit of time. And I don't even think you need to take like, this isn't like anything that you need to take a course for. Like you can do all of this work yourself. Just get some notebooks, get you some pens, and like start researching, watching videos, going on the internet, watching, most importantly, you wanna look for, like, peer-reviewed scholarly journals. Um, and if they're not out yet, they will be soon within the next, um, I don't know, it's a time-related question, but I just get the feeling that very soon, um, everything is gonna catch up and you're gonna be ahead of it because you're already looking into it now. So you'll be kind of like a subject matter expert when people start saying like, "Wait, what's really going on?" I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but if you don't, I would get one only because you could work kind of like a translator. Like most people are not going to want to do the research that you want to do. Like most people, the extent of how they get their information is just like a meme, you know? And so you would be a really good um like educator to explain things that talks to both audiences. Like you'll be able to talk to the spiritual community and the people who are like, I need convincing, I only believe in science.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. Thank you for that. And yeah, I did Sarah did a session for me, and I actually do have a nocturne lifetime where, and I don't know about it, but from what she's told me, like the little snippets is that um I like I must have been into technology and whatnot because she said that I would make like AI, like I was into AI and fairies and all of that.
Oh, I love that, and that makes so much sense because I do get like that scientific vibe from you. So you must have been doing that before. That's like
Hmm.
what you like, that research, that development. That's so cool.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
That is really cool.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I hope that this helps. And, when you go back and listen, you're like, oh, yeah, I picked up on this. And, like, maybe there's like little things that start to
Yeah.
come together for you.
Oh my
But
gosh.
this is so
Yeah.
exciting. So cool. Very cool, this work that you do or that you will do. You have a
Yeah.
lot going on.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You too. I I wish that I can like what you're doing, like I wish I could do that.
You probably could, if you just, took the time. I feel like you're I feel like you're more advanced than I am, to be honest. When I was looking into your energy, you just felt like magic and light and like at the
Oh,
snap of your fingers, like at the snap of your fingers, you can be in the angelic realm or wherever you want to be. And I'm like, that is way cooler.
oh,
That is so cool. So yeah, I am gonna go ahead and close your records, which I'll go ahead and do with you here.
good.
Um, okay. I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the record of Aviana. Yes, this is all honestly really cool. And I have done several of these. And it's weird because typically the stuff that I get, and this isn't bad, but like when people ask for their gifts, talents, and abilities, I usually get like kindness, like you're compassionate, like, and that I think it's because like in the spirit world, like those kinds of qualities, like they really, really value. Like here, we're like really kindness, like that's my superpower. Like that's the kind of stuff I
Yeah.
usually get. But with
Mhm.
you, it was like alien spaceship, like space traveler, like it was totally out of this world and it was really cool. I was like, oh great, I'm gonna have and I don't, it's not that I, whatever I get, I'll tell you, so but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, your gift is that you make people feel appreciated, you make people feel loved. Like usually that's what I'm saying. But I think maybe it's because you're in this community, and
Yeah.
you're already like doing, your QHHT and all this stuff. So
Mhm.
you're an advanced soul out here doing good things. And it was really, really cool to get into
Oh.
your energy. Yeah.